We're live.
We're
Hello.
here. They're here, as they say in Poltergeist.
We're still alive. I am convinced that we're all freaking dead and we're hanging out in purgatory because this is just a fucking never ending nightmare. Like, straight up. So, Johnny may come in. He texted us. He just got done making dinner. He sent me a picture and it was smashed potatoes. And I'm like, now I want smashed potatoes, which I do have potatoes. I should make some in the after show. Smashed potatoes and chicken sounds good. So, hello everybody. What you got going on, Jennie?
Nothing but I got openings in May for readings. If anyone would like a reading with me, they can go to Jen Lynn Tarot and click on the readings tab. Thank you, Sue. And the seminar in Oregon is only going to be for sale through May. It cuts off in June. So if you want to get registered to learn healing energy and working with the astral body in Portland, Oregon with me, jenlintarot.com, click on the seminars tab. And when you book it, you get a confirmation email that has information about the hotel right across the street where we get a discount. There's a coupon code.
I don't know if you can see her right there.
I got a cheap plane ticket for under $300.
Oh, that's cheap.
Miss Braxy. She took her diaper off.
Yeah, she knows how to take her diaper off. So I'm fighting a losing battle. You're hungry. You need to go tell Daddy to feed you. You need to tell Daddy, not Mommy. Go tell him.
Tearing a hole in your head, Mom.
Go tell him.
You don't love me anymore.
Go tell him. Say, Mommy. Oh, look at. See? Say hi to all your friends. Say hi. Say hi. I know. You got to ask Daddy to feed you. She got all sorts of good stuff yesterday. She got a little bit of rice and her hamburgers, and then I made her an egg.
Head's bigger than Mommy's now.
Yeah. Girl. Yeah, I put her diaper on, and then I caught her. She took it off. She knows how to take the little things off. So I'm just like, you know what? I can't. She's running around being a teenager, being bad. Bless you. So you hear her? She's gonna throw a fit. Hold on. Yes, Braxy is smarter than the piece of crap that's squatting in the Oval Office right now.
Both of them.
You're a genius, huh? You're a genius. So how have you guys been doing? Jennie, how's your springtime coming along so far?
We had snow twice last week. We had snow Sunday, like a week ago Friday. It was 80 degrees. We had snow on Sunday. I had to go out and snow blow. And then it warmed back up, but like it's dropping in the upper 20s at night, the low 30s, and up in the atmosphere it's cold. So Wednesday night we got snow, and then Friday evening we got snow. I'm like, all right, are we done yet?
Yeah, we just you're over there blowing snow, and we're over here planting. We just
spring equinox, and we're getting snow.
Hi, Johnny.
There he is.
So
it's 42 degrees right now, so we're looking good.
We're in the high 60s. We just went yesterday to the store and bought a bunch of stuff. We planted a bunch of vegetables. Well, a bunch. 4 tomato plants and 6 peppers. And then we did a bunch of we did a dozen strawberries. And then I started an herb garden again. And I got smart this time because I had bought a mint plant last year and it got so huge. And then it got infested by aphids. And I did the whole trying to spray them off with soapy water. They destroyed it. So I got smart and I sprayed it with horticultural spray yesterday. I said, I'm doing this at least once a week because the aphids out here are insane. And then I did some dahlias. I did 3 bulbs of dahlias and then some ranunculus and some hyacinth. So the garden looks really pretty. So, you know, it is what it
is. Stuff to do your tomatoes and stuff later.
Yeah. So, you know, I threw them in the ground yesterday. So we got 2 cherry tomatoes and 2 Romas. Because Peanut wanted to go crazy. I said, dude, last year we did 6 tomato plants and we had more tomatoes than we had mouths in this house. Like, that was insane, you know, and then trying to keep up with all of them. I was like, it's only 2 of us, you know, like,
I think with rising food costs, we're going to see a lot of people planting gardens this year.
Yeah. And so, you know, because Matt wanted to start planting a bunch of stuff. I was like, let's just do the stuff that we're going to eat. We eat strawberries all the time. You know, our pomegranate tree, he got me a pomegranate tree for my birthday a couple years ago. It still hasn't fruited because it hasn't even been in there 2 years yet. So I think it needs like 3 years or something. You know, but we would do avocado, but it's just like those things take like 5-7 years before they start fruiting. You know what I mean? So unless we buy a mature tree, and we're looking at a few $100s, you know. So if I had the room, I would get chickens too. You know what I mean? To get my own eggs, but we don't have the yard for that. So
I was hoping to work out in the yard today, but it's rained here all day and it's been so dark and gloomy. I've had to keep lights on in the house all day just to walk around. I'm like, I have to clean up the labyrinth where my daisies have overtaken the walkway. I got to get them out. And then I have a whole bunch of compost in the woods where I turn it and everything. So I want to bring some fresh soil down into the garden and before I plant tomatoes.
We just picked up compost yesterday. Because at the city, if you're a resident, you can come and get however much, and they have different types of compost. So we took the trash bin for greens and filled it to the rim. That thing was so damn heavy, full of compost, you know, and just used it all over in all the planters. And so, yeah, but
I have 2 piles we alternate between because leaves need at least a year to compost or they get the soil too acidic. So my neighbor who also uses my compost pile, when he rakes his leaves, I have him trained like, okay, this pile this year. Okay, this over here this year.
Yeah.
But it makes the richest soil. It's just full of earthworms and dark.
That's how ours was yesterday when we picked it up from the city. Because they had like 6 different piles of compost. And if you're a resident, you just show your ID and then just, I saw people in cars putting it in their trunk. I'm like, the hell? I'm assuming that their truck was lined with tarp or something. Otherwise, they're just shoveling dirt into the back of the car. Yeah. I was like, you know, but yeah, so we did all that yesterday. And, you know, Jennie and I were just talking. Food prices are about to skyrocket because he deported everybody. The farmers are growing broke. They lost their U.S. AID, all that stuff. So if I had the room, I'd get chickens and cows, man. Get my own milk and get my own chickens and my eggs, you know, but So
for those posting questions in the chat, we post on our community post for questions on Saturday before Sunday night. So you have to go there to put questions in for Sunday night. And for the lady who was rather rude last week commenting about I was doing my own personal questions. Yes, sometimes I do my own personal questions as well as questions suggested by you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times if someone puts a question we've already read on like a week or 2 before, we don't do them again. So that lady was blocked because she didn't like I was doing my own personal questions. Our channels, we can do what we want. Thank you, Janine.
Sometimes it's people that if they didn't complain, they wouldn't have anything to say, sort of thing.
Yeah, they need to go start their own channel so I can complain on them.
So how you doing, Johnny? How was your smashed potatoes?
I don't know. I'm not done yet.
Oh, did you make garlic smashed potatoes or just regular smashed potatoes?
I put garlic powder in it, but there's no real garlic in there.
I was just telling Jenny, I was like, oh, I have potatoes. I should make some in the after show. Make some smashed potatoes.
I had time, but I got to the store and the line was going out the door, so it kind of
how are the prices?
ran over a little bit.
How are the prices?
Well, all I have by me is Safeway. Safeway is expensive, period. So
yeah.
If I had a Winco, then that'd be a different story. But Safeway is some bunch. So
dang.
Yes, innocent potatoes. Us Aries are warriors.
For the eggs, though, I didn't buy eggs.
Matt, Peanut just got some for us at Costco because even at the Winco, remember I was like, when Sterling and Nina were like, they're $12, $13. I was like, how? The ones by me at Winco were still, $4 or $5. Well, they ran out of all the $4 or $5 and they started charging $15 for a dozen. So Peanut went to the Costco and we got, I think it's a baker's dozen or more. No, it was 24 eggs. And I think he paid like $12 for 24 eggs, which is less expensive than the regular grocery store right now. So, yeah.
Innocent Potato was talking about us Aries women are warriors. It's like, yeah, I don't know why people like to test that every now and then. FAFO.
So I wanted to say thank you again. I'm not sure if the person who gifted me the Stanley Cup, Marie, and the coloring book was in attendance last week on Johnny's channel or the week before on Jennie's when I said thank you. But thank you again. I really enjoy it. I haven't colored in the coloring book yet because I'm working on a different. Let me show y'all. Because I've been working on this damn thing for like days now. See? So I still have to do
pretty.
I can't see what I'm pointing at. I still got to do the rocks and the tree and then the little ship. And then I got to do this side and then I'll do the background. But yeah, I've been working on that. So going cross-eyed because some of the things on here are so tiny. I'm like, I can't see. So I'm busting out my magnifying glass. Seriously, I'm over here like
he needs an eye doctor appointment soon.
So, but thank you, Marie. That was very kind and very generous. Oh, there you are. Hi, Marie. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I got Johnny onto the Stanley Cup thing because holds water. Yeah, see? Yeah. It holds water forever. And ice stays cold for like 2 days. I think is the longest I've had ice in there without it melting.
Johnny got me my tumbler at the Starbucks when I was out in Portland because I forgot to bring one with me. I have a zillion of them, but I forgot to bring mine. So he bought this one for me to keep my water warm for tea so I can keep my voice going while I'm teaching. Oh my God, this thing will keep water boiling hot overnight, like that long. Like if I leave anything in it overnight and I get up the next morning, I'm like, ow, it's hot still.
Yeah, this thing has had ice in it since yesterday. And I just keep filling it with water. It hasn't melted at all. So
I'm going to reset my internet connection in just a second. So I'm going to drop off and then come back.
Okay.
Because this connects to the gateway, which is in the living room, which is why I keep going from 4 bars to 1 bar to 4 bar to 1 bar instead of this thing that's sitting right next to me. So I'll be back.
Okay. So, yeah, well, while Johnny is taking care of that situation, what else you got going on, Jenny?
Not too much. I'm up to here getting taxes ready so I can file an extension because I don't want to send money to Musk. But I'm getting them done. first weekend of April, so I got to get all my stuff together, and
yeah, it's
because I'm still going to pay into Illinois. We have a state income tax here.
oh yeah, we have here in California, we have taxes for taxes on top of taxes for those taxes to get taxed. It's like I don't even know how many freaking taxes we paid, but it's ridiculous, you know. But okay, there's.
But I think a lot of states, they're raising like property taxes, and like here they're talking about doing a raise in sales tax on like food and groceries and stuff, and it's because they're not getting as much federal aid, so
Yeah.
they're they got to keep the roads up and stuff. And our roads, it's very hard on the roads when you're having to put salt down all the time in the winter.
Yeah, it's dude, we about to be real skinny real soon, because we ain't going to be able to afford to fucking put food on the table for most people. It's kind of, it's very scary what's going on right now with all this talk about cutting Social Security, even though a judge told them you cannot do that. That's unconstitutional. They don't give a shit. They're going to do it anyways. And
raising payments and wanting people to have to come in and prove who they are to get a check and stuff.
Disabled. Disabled. Yeah. It's not just senior citizens that, like when
people that are in nursing homes, how are they supposed to get there to verify it's them?
When my mom was here, I had to put her in a nursing home because I couldn't do it by myself. So now you want me to take a day off of work to go get my mom to sit in a Social Security office all day to prove that she is who she is, and it's just not just that, but then the people that are disabled that may not have, and if you are on a fixed income, you don't have money to be blowing on an Uber or public transportation. You're barely keeping your head above water.
That's right. Your money is really tight.
And then the rising cost of everything. It's like, it's very concerning what's happening. And the other day, Muscatina, the freaking Teletubby, Captain Ketamine, did an interview on, I think it was Fox News. I think it was Sean Hannity.
Did you see the video of him playing with the forks at the Mar-a-Lago dinner?
High as a fucking kite. High as a kite. He did an interview the other day on Sean Hannity talking about, what's going on with the Tesla cars and people burning them down. And you know what he said? I thought the left was supposed to be tolerant.
Not of a.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, the first thing that crossed my mind, I was like, those are the words of an abuser. Those are the words of an abuser. I can sit here and punch you in the fucking face all day long. How dare you do anything about it? You're supposed to be tolerant.
Somebody just said they're having
leadership in the Democratic Party is tolerant and does nothing. Doesn't mean that the rest of us are going to roll over and let you fuck us in the ass, for everything we have when you made your billions on our taxpayer dollars. I mean, the lack of self-awareness, the freaking lack of self-awareness is just.
They don't care. They don't care. Somebody just said in the chat they're having a hands-off protest on April 5th. So y'all write that on your calendars.
Yep. And then, he was saying the Democrats, first of all, there is no proof that is Democrats. Second of all, for the past 10 years, Donald Trump has done nothing but incite political violence. The most radicalized group in this country are MAGAs and Republicans. So who's to say it's not a pissed off Republican or some other person? Why does it have to be a Democrat? Who's to say he's not paying somebody to light his own damn cars on fire so he can try to claim insurance? Yeah. Which I've seen that theory floating around all over the internet.
Since we're not here.
And then he held a Skype sort of meeting, a streaming meeting with his employees begging them to not dump their stocks. You know what they should have said? Write me a bullet point, 5 bullet points, and have it on my desk by 5 p.m. today on 5 reasons why I shouldn't be dumping your stock. Just like
Yeah.
federal workers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just I don't know if it's the
He
drug.
lost it on his daughter. He is losing it like crazy. I swear to God, the man's going to OD. He is Calvin Kleining to death for entertainment purposes only. YouTube.
He's going to end up the way of Matthew Perry, which pisses me off because I want to see that son of a bitch tar and feathered in the public square for everybody to see it.
Drawn and quartered.
Yeah, and then drawn and quartered if he survives.
They want to take us back to the 1800s, 1700s. Let's draw and quarter him.
So can we start there? This is conspiracies, speculation. Is he paying people to burn his own cars down? Peanut, can you feed the baby? Yeah. Go get Din Din.
And by the way, for all my fellow Aries out there, we got a whole bunch of planets getting ready to coast through Aries, so we're going to be lit up like no tomorrow. Do not mess with Aries in April or May. We are going to be really, really, really hyped up.
So is he paying somebody to burn his own cars?
I think he is just that hated. Mind you, he's earned it. So, yeah, it's not, I want to say just for the sake of, the sake of saying, he is not Tesla. There are a lot of people out there. If you want to destroy the dealership, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not advocating for such a thing, but I'm not crying over it either. But the charging stations are needed by people, everyday people who need somewhere to charge their car. So you keep that in mind. It trended the other day because a guy was filmed keying somebody's car, and it was a Tesla. Elon's not driving that car. That person now has a big scratch mark on the side of their car because they bought this a long time ago or whatever. So keep in mind that people who have Teslas are not necessarily pro Elon. There is a contract when you buy a Tesla that you cannot sell it or trade it in or some crap like that because some guy was trying to do that. That's how I know about it. Or you get fined $50,000 or something stupid like that because he had a Tesla truck. Why you would have one of those, I don't know, but he had one. It fit in his driveway. He got divorced. It does not fit in his apartment driveway where he lives now. So he tried to trade it in, and it's in his contract that you can't. And so bear that in mind too. But I think he is really just that hated to where he is the target, and Tesla is too.
I agree in abundance. Yeah, the clear thinking people want him to go, and he's trying to hang on to his image. He's trying to hang on to his company. He's trying to hang on to Republicans, but the practical people are partnering together. They just hate him and his cars. He's not involved in it, but he's seen as treasonous. And get ready because they've got more plans for you, Elon. There's more plans coming.
And this is a guy, just go watch that interview. Watch that interview if you haven't. Your primary customer base are left-leaning liberals, people who actually give a shit about the environment, not some drill, baby, drill on the right. The lack of self-awareness is astounding. Astounding. How dare you not do it once, but twice? Sig Heil. Come in, take over everything, He's like, Tesla's a peaceful company. We've never done anything. Say that to the 200,000 vets you just fired, motherfucker. You know, like, it doesn't matter if they fire him. That brand is going to be tainted. Nobody wants to be driving a Swatsta car. And it's not just here. It's overseas.
He was illegally hawking his stocks too. Like, you'll never see the stock this low again. You should buy the stock from the White House. That's illegal.
Is he paying somebody? No, but there are people that are supporters that are doing it as well. You know, so I'm just saying. So Elon Musk, Captain Ketamine.
You piss off MAGA, you know. Get ready.
Yeah, Captain Ketamine decided that I don't know if he was invited. I didn't get the skinny on it. But he decided, I don't know if he decided or he strolled in, invited himself to the Pentagon briefings about war with China. This is a person who's never served a day in the military. This is a person who is an immigrant to this country illegally. This is a person
also has one of the biggest factories in China.
There's a conflict of interest there. This is a person that is buddies with Putinesca. What the hell is he doing in a classified top secret meeting in the Pentagon about war plans with Russia? Why was he there?
No clearance, no nothing.
Just some rando off the street, not a government official.
Like me going in there.
A government official. He was never selected by Congress or vetted. Nothing. That Doge is an apparition. It's not real.
Yeah, he's never had to go through a confirmation hearing or anything.
That's like your hairdresser coming into your house and evicting you. No authority, no nothing. I'm just here. Get the fuck out of your house. It's mine now. Like, I don't, dude, I swear we're in the upside down.
Thank you, Lena.
I think it is what it looks like. There is a financial stake here with the 7 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. There's something around. Mind you, he paid to be wherever he wants to be because he owns the president, just like a lot of other people do. Their president, I should say. The 6 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles, this is an investment, and this is the quid pro quo as well. The 4 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is a scheme, a heist, a theft, that type of thing. It's also a strategy meeting. And so here with the 4 of Wands and 7 of Swords. So he's there to protect his interests, I suppose. There's information he wants on foreign leaders as well with the Emperor card there. And the Knight of Swords, concerned about attacks or conflicts or all that type of stuff, but it's around his investment. So that's why I think he was there.
Yeah, he's got something new that he wants to start, and he's trying to make sure that he can control what's going on in the world. So looking into everything that's going on, you know, in our Pentagon, and there's something he's not done with yet that he wants to do. He also would do, to Johnny's point, quid pro quo, pay to talk. Like, I'll give you secrets if you pay me. There's something he wants to change. It could be around COVID. That's my COVID card. So there's some, maybe how COVID and you know, because they say it originated in China. There may be something he's trying to change on about the COVID dialogue. He wants to burden the crap out of everybody and have more power. And he thinks he gets that by being in on these meetings. He wants to be emperor of the world. Got news for you.
Yeah, I mean, because he bought us for cheap like a used car. 270 million is nothing to that man.
It may also have to do with that he wants to switch to a cryptocurrency for the U.S.
That's been a thing that they've been wanting to do.
Yeah, so it may have to do with like countries that use the dollar, as the base of their currency. He wants to kind of be aware of what's going on there. It's got something to do with crypto also, I'm hearing.
So why was he at the meeting? Well, it wasn't just China, because here's China. There's another foreign government that's an enemy here. Don't know who that is. Pick one.
Yeah, enemy to them is not enemy to us.
Iran, Russia, who knows? But there's another one. So he was there to listen in and forward the information, if that makes sense. There was a lot of discussions about agreements for energy or some sort of an agreement that could be made that would be very successful. Foreign contracts as well, because I asked why was he in the meeting. The main thing is listening in to give information to another foreign enemy. Okay.
And get more foreign contracts.
There's foreign contracts there. How to brainstorm on how he is going to dismantle or get around obstacles that could prove helpful in a partnership, not with China, but the other foreign enemy. I don't see money here, though. I see energy, not money, energy. Okay. There is a corrupt partnership conspiracy, a criminal conspiracy, a corrupt partnership that he's involved with to get what he desires. But it's between China, him, and another foreign one that's an enemy. So there's three. It's like a triangle. Does that make sense? And how they're going to take away obstacles. But the biggest thing that I see here is a foreign contract for energy. Energy. I don't know what that is. The mountain is here, which is the enemy. As a thing, that would be rocks, minerals, refrigerators, freezers, that sort of thing. It could be contracts for something that goes inside of a phone, lights and batteries. But there's obstacles there that he's trying to brainstorm, pass information on, and how they're going to get rid of the obstacles to get what they all want out of it. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm getting. And there were...
I think it's a multiple thing he was trying to get out of it. There were what?
Because I don't see money. It's energy, Jen. I have no money cards here. It's all energy. Energy and things that are of value, that are rocks, minerals, from the earth, but it's not money. It's a thing of value that brings energy, if that makes sense. And he was listening in to see where he can make a partnership, foreign partnerships for that. But I don't see money. I don't see him selling secrets. I don't see any of that here. So that's what I get out of it. So yeah. So staying on with Alonia muscatina. There is allegedly a leaked voicemail floating around of JD Vance complaining about Elon Musk. Allegedly. Okay. Let me see if I can play it for you.
I missed this one.
It's rich.
aside from being a non.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh gosh. Okay, ready? I'm going to turn it all the way up. Okay.
Everything that he's doing is getting criticized in the media. And he says that he's helping, and he's not. He's making us look bad. He's making me look bad. And I'll tell you this, and he wouldn't like it if I said it, but he's not even an immigrant. He is from South Africa, and he's cosplaying as this great American leader in a room that has the portraits of some of the greatest men that ever lived in this country, and he has the audacity to act like he is an elected official. I am an elected official. I am the important one in this situation, not him. So if he wants to tank the economy and his cars, maybe that's what he deserves. Everything that he's doing.
Did you hear that?
He's from South Africa and he's cosplaying.
Did you hear that? This is allegedly a leaked audio of JD Vance throwing a temper tantrum about Alonia. Did he really say that? Was it for entertainment purposes
He
only?
deserves what he's getting with this cars.
Is that really JD
not,
Vance?
He's not an elected official. Thank you, Terry, for posting the questions.
So here's the thing. I don't get yes, I don't get no, I get explanation. It says this is how they feel, whether he said that or not. It's a true sentiment. I'll say that. There would be the government with the Hierophant. Here is the 10 of Pentacles. That's my Republican card. There's the Hermit and the Page of Wands. So they are speaking, especially in private, about how he is a burden, 10 of Wands, to them. And so I think that sentiment is true, whether that's him or not. I would venture to say yes, but because he's very, very, very defensive when it comes to Elon. Elon is not JD Vance's pet. That's supposed to be, well, it's the other way around. Trump is his pet, but you get what I'm saying. They don't have the same relationship that he and Trump does. And so I think the sentiment is still there. They don't like him, but they can't get rid of him.
I get a big old yes in the past position. That's a recording of him in the past. Yes. And he's in secret. He's looking at all the theft and everything that Doge is doing. He's trying to get to calmer waters, and he wants to be the leader. So I think he would like for Musk and Trump to go. He wants to be the leader. He wants to get to higher ground and be the president. He doesn't like what's going on with Republicans, like at the town halls. He doesn't like what's going on with all the courts because of Doge, and how much money that's costing. He may start questioning Elon about things that he's shrunk in the government, things that he's fired people.
Did he say it? I'm going to go with a yes. He feels like he's the one that has the experience. He's being cold shouldered. The spotlight is not on him, and he's got his own ambitions. And when the spotlight comes, it's because of everything that they're doing that's going to the courts. All I'm saying is JD Vance he's only mad that he's getting so much attention and drawing so much attention because he's down for whatever this is. He knows who bought the election. He knows who tampered with a bunch of stuff to get them where he is today. You know, speaking of which, so we got a question in the chat about, will more people start to question the results? We're in March. Rosie O'Donnell just did an interview the other day. I think it was in Scotland or something. And she had some things to say. Now, I don't follow Hollywood. I don't know how relevant Rosie O'Donnell is, if she's still like very well known or if she's just kind of over there.
She's not that well known anymore because she's not on TV, but she was a main rival of his back in the day. And he tried to sue her multiple times.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is her in an interview.
You know, a lot of people did vote for him.
Yes.
Do you accept their right to do that and their opinion of him?
Well, I respect their right to do that. I question why the first time in American history a president has won every swing state and is also best friends, and his largest donor was a man who owns and runs the internet. So I would hope that that would be investigated and that we would see whether or not it was an anomaly or something else that happened on election night in America when Kamala Harris was filling up stadiums with people who supported her, and Donald Trump was not able to do that. So it's curious to me. And as an American and a believer in democracy, I would hope that we would be able to look at all of the reasons why this happened in our country.
Conor McGregor ended up in the Oval Office this week. What do you think that says about the state of US politics?
It's very depressing. And it seems very strange to me that the President of the United States has so many friends who are sexual abusers.
Why do you think?
So that's what Rosie O'Donnell had to say.
Where's the lie?
Thank you, SW and Michelle.
Say it again, Johnny, for the people in the back.
Where's the lie?
So, are more people going to, will it become more mainstream to question the results?
I mean, Maxine Waters has kind of gone there, but I would like to see every Democrat in Congress go there.
We're going to ask some questions about those people.
Because it's kind of drip droppy right now, so that's a good question.
You think? Why do you think his poll numbers are so underwater? For the first time in all U.S. history, the first president to ever have such horrible poll numbers within the first less than 100 days.
60
Why would
days.
that be? Why would that be? Why are people showing up in town halls screaming at their elected officials?
He had the lowest in 30 days. Yeah. And it's just progressively gotten worse.
It's almost like 2 + 2 isn't equaling 4. Oh my gosh.
You're not popular because you weren't the one they voted for.
I think so. For a couple of reasons here. The Knight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. I have read in the past that on Democratic leadership, there is someone coming forward. I don't know who it is because unfortunately with tarot cards, there's no names at the bottom. But someone's coming forward in their house of fire. And that's kind of the person you need. They're going to shake the table, flip the table, all that type of stuff. The Knight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. It's in time, though. And I don't know exactly when either, because tarot's not good with that type of thing. But if I had to throw a dart, I would say summertime. There is someone's voice who is coming forward with the Strength card and the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is communication, strength is strength. They have a very good message. They have a very compelling argument, especially whatever's going on around that time. The message matches. And so it's like, you can't ignore it. All we need right now, somebody, though, is to break the dam. It's like it's all built up and somebody just needs to crack it. There's the lovers. So there's the support and there's the fool. You just need the person to make the leap to show everybody else it's not that dangerous. And so whoever this brave person is going to take control of this narrative and push forth with it. So will more come out? Yes. And I think once they do, then there'll be droves of people behind them. Because we're all thinking it. We just need one of them to go and say it.
It's not just thinking it, Johnie. We saw it happen. And
he admitted it 3 times.
We saw it happen and he admitted it. And since when? Since when has an election been called in one night?
Yeah.
With more people this year than the last time.
Yeah.
Since when?
The image of secure elections has been tampered with. It's been, the security has been tampered with. And nostalgia about the votes, within 2 months, everything's changing. Within 2 months, it's like people aren't accepting what happened with the votes and also what's happening right now in our government. So 2 months wrapped up victory. Everyone's going to be looking at it differently because it was stolen. Yeah, this is going to gain more support over the next 8 weeks. That's an 8-week card for me.
I got a yes. A woman that was happy got cut off. So will more people begin to question? It'll come back to the woman that was happy was cut off. The woman that was joyous was cut off. See what I'm saying? So yeah. Like I keep saying, tapar el sol con un dedo. You can't cover up the sun with your finger. It's the truth is too big, you know. So Bernie Sanders and AOC have been barnstorming the US of A, delivering a message. Chuck Schumer keeps stepping on his dick because he doesn't know what the hell is wrong. He is unable to read the moment.
Bernie and AOC are drawing crowds like the size Kamala was drawing.
35,000 in Colorado alone. 35,000.
Wasn't expected to be that big.
So let me start with Schumer because I don't have internet cable anymore, but I did catch it on YouTube. He did an interview with Chris Hayes, and Chris Hayes is going, hey man, he's not listening to the courts. He's defying court orders, yada, yada, yada. Are we in a constitutional crisis? No, we're not there yet. Chuck Schumer is living in freaking la la land. Maybe he needs to push the glasses up a little bit further up his head so he can see and read the room. He's like, oh, well, you might think so, but I don't. I don't think we're there yet. People are pissed at Chuck Schumer. People are showing up at Democratic town halls screaming at their Democratic elected officials saying, do something. You don't need to tell us that we're in the minority. I know that, but at least have some sort of coordinated strategy, you know? So is Chuck Schumer going to be either as I want to know if he will he remain the minority leader? Because he keeps proving again and again that he is not fit for this moment at all. At all.
I get a yes. He will still be, well, he'll still be there is my answer. The 7 of Wands defending your position in the 8 of Pentacles would be your job. He is part of the status quo and it is hard to break it. There are people who would love him to not be where he is. The same with Pelosi and Jeffries and so forth and so forth. But it is hard to remove them because it's not enough of them. Let's just keep in mind too, they keep saying we're in the minority. You're in the minority in the government, not the population of the U.S. The population of the U.S. is overwhelmingly blue. That's why you keep hearing the words blue wave every time an election comes along, because there's more of us than it is of them. We just have to be more involved than we are. You can get him out if you were to go in those numbers, but those numbers do not exist, at least for right now, and I think he will stay there.
Yeah, I think he hangs on to, he's defending, as Johnny said, he's defending, King of Cups for me is Democrats, even though they're attacking him, he's defending. I think he'll stay there until he retires. I don't see him going. There could be a change of leadership higher up, like presidential leadership. But I think Schumer stays.
I get that eventually there is a change because there is a widespread want for important change. This is an action card. This tells me something changes. A change or an improvement. Widespread, vast answers for improvement and change. So circling back to Bernie Sanders and AOC. We know that the old guard does not like the progressive wing of the party. You need to look no further than what Nancy Pelosi did to lowball and kind of push out AOC from a leadership position. She whipped everybody against her to vote for the one guy that's in the position now who's 78 years old with cancer over AOC. You have what's his face, the speaker, Hakeem Jeffries going, there's nothing we can do. You know, the only people screaming are the black women, the women of color, and the progressive wing. That's it. The rest of the Dems are just kind of like, well, I mean, you know, like we're 1984 and this is normal. Will there be significant change within the Democratic Party this year? Is what I want to know.
I'm going to say yes, but I'm also going to say stay encouraged, all those blue-leaning people out there. It doesn't reflect immediately. I have 3 cards right off the top, actually 4 cards right off the top of the reading that signify patience. But the star card is predictive. And so this is something that you can hold on to. The 3 of Cups is the first card. This is community. It's small, though, which is not a horrible thing because at least it's there. And so you have your AOCs and you have your Bernies and you have your people coming together that have the same message, that have the same agenda, that are going in the same place. The 7 of Pentacles is patience. It's planted. Remember, there's a difference between planted and buried. This is planted. And so this is something that is going to grow, and then you'll reap the harvest with the Empress. This is abundance. It's small now. It becomes bigger later. The Star is a card of the future. So this is something that's starting now, and it will be much bigger later. So will there be significant change this year? Maybe. But next year, for sure. And whatever is going on right now will look a completely different way next year. So stay encouraged. There are more of us than it is of them, even on the Dem side. There is more of us than it is of them too. And we just need the numbers, and this will grow. The sword of victory here. And then the 10 of Pentacles, it will leave a legacy. And so it's getting there. Just stay encouraged. It is getting there.
It's not answering me about the Democratic Party per se. It's showing me something else, because it's showing me like the Democrats watching, this election get stolen and the betrayal there to the woman who was their leader. But there are going to be more options coming up. There's a surprise at the White House that throws everything off kilter. A surprise ending or separation. Illumination on things that have been going on. Someone packing their bags and moving within 2 months. It's my 2-month card. And that changes, I actually get, it changes everything. And maybe the Democrats start partnering across the aisle better, meaning Republicans start working with them. There could be some changes that change everything, but it's starting in the White House. I'm going to leave it at that.
I don't want to shit on anybody's Wheaties, but part of the reason that we're in this situation is because of the Dems. Because, in my view, a failure to address the issues as they were brought up in the moment. When Bernie Sanders was going up against Hillary Clinton, they worked overtime to keep the status quo. That doesn't help working class people. It's like they've abandoned the working class. They like to play lip service and then do nothing. And then there's people that come in that want real change. They get sidelined by the old guard. Enough. Your leadership has proven to not be effective. Period. Get gone. So there's enough blame to go around.
Thank you, Judy. To me, why didn't somebody immediately election night? We all saw that something funny was going on. All of a sudden at 6 o'clock, everything flips. Why they weren't calling for investigations immediately, and because of the bomb threats?
The bomb threats, places in Pennsylvania that had to shut down because the voting machines were malfunctioning. Nobody thought that was weird.
And that goes right up to the top with Kamala too, because she conceded too fast.
Well, significant change this shows that the status quo remains. However, on a smaller scale, domestically, perhaps at the state level, this would be more like the state level, not federally, there will be very big changes and a lot of energy and a lot of success. And that's the one thing Republicans have down pat, where the Democrats know how to do it. They just choose not to. They're either complacent or they just don't care. Because the Republicans take control of everything. The courts, the houses, the school boards, everything. And the Dems are just over there having caviar and champagne and just, we'll get them next time. It'll be okay. And that's not, so it's almost like I'm glad to see Bernie Sanders and AOC, because if those two know how to do one thing, it's got the grassroots movement going. And that man had overwhelming support in 2016. He just got pushed aside by the powers that be. So, and how many people, when they saw what they did to Bernie, turned around and voted for Trump out of spite to show the Democrats a lesson? How many Trump supporters that would never dream about voting for a socialist, if you take Bernie's name out and just give them the points, they would say yes, 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 yes to every single thing that man is offering. The problem is the old guard. So I'm getting significant changes more in like state and local levels.
There are a lot of, like, my state tends to be blue, but our state House and Senate are way too red. So yeah, there needs to be a lot of
it. It makes sense too, because of what they're doing with the town halls. When you are trying to change the electorate, you change the heart of the people who have the voting power. And so if I can get you to look, I'm not saying you have to hate him, but if I can get you to look at your Republican representative and what they actually do for you and what they actually do for themselves, then maybe that will change your heart, change your mind, and then change the state, change the color of the red to blue. Exactly,
Johnie. And why did it take this disaster? And it's not the regular Dems that are doing it. It's not Nancy Pelosi doing it. It's not Hakeem Jeffries doing it. It's not that other guy that's another corporate Dem, the little Hispanic looking dude out there doing it. It's the progressive wing of the party, the crazies. How are you going to pay for that sort of stuff? What do you mean universal health care? We can't afford that. It's those people. And leadership is over there doing God knows what. Oh, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. I mean, you know, so we'll see. We'll see. But speaking of Bernie and AOC, what their whole campaign going across the country, doing what they're doing, what will be the results of that?
Say it again. Say it again, Becca.
What's going to be the outcome? What happens? What's going to be the outcome of Bernie and AOC campaigning across the globe or across the states?
It's more trying to educate people on what's going on than campaigning. I mean, it's sort of campaigning, but
yeah, it's the stopping oligarchy.
It's the stopping the oligarchy, right? So it's trying to get people riled up to protest and stuff.
You know, one thing that stands out to me here is it gets people to switch the mentality of being stuck in place, because a lot of people feel paralyzed right now because they did vote, they did their part, they did their thing, and then it turned out this way. And then it's almost as if, well, no matter what I tried, they stripped it away from me anyway. And that came with the 10 of Wands. It's like, so what do I do now? And then you look to your leadership and then they all disappear, including Kamala. And so it's like you heard from no one, you seen no one. And then when you heard from her, it was asking for money. So now you feel like, okay, everybody just left me and I'm standing here. And then you have the 6 of Wands, the AOCs and so forth are all coming out. The 6 of Wands is a victory card. It's a parade card, but it's also a solution emerges. It's like now that you've come from the 5 of Wands, you have the 6 of Wands to where something is making more sense. There's a plan behind this. Oh, that's what I can do. Even if it's just coming to this rally and get that little encouragement, that goes a long way too. And so here with the 10 of Pentacles, there's a security, there's a legacy, there's a family aspect to this too. When they tell you something about your family or what affects you, it makes it real. And these are not just blue people they're talking to. These are red people who worked in factories and all that other kind of stuff. And so they're making it personal. They're making it real. They're giving you legs again. That way you're not just stuck in place. And so it's working because there's the strength card. The strength is convincing the lion that violence is not the answer. Here's a better way to do it. Here's a new solution. Here's a new outlet, so forth and so forth.
And to your point, Johnie, people do feel abandoned because then where's Kamala? She's at home doing what she needs to do. That's it. Doing what Trump should have done instead of running around for 4 years. They stole it. She's doing what he should have done.
She's retired. She was the VP. She's done.
And then when you look at Hakeem Jeffries, how does that make you feel? Oh, there's nothing we can do. Do you see what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, buy my book.
Yeah.
Strength card, you can tame the cat, except when you're trimming their claws. Yeah, the lies that they have been fed, and the bad news about choices that have been taken away, letting people know they're not done. They're going to keep bullying through this Project 2025 agenda. They're going to continue to gain support and mobilize. It will get people in the streets marching, and trying to show them options they can do, while also continuing to fight, through the court system. So illumination, pulling people together, from both parties, even because there are Republicans that are pissed, pulling people together and strengthen that.
Mm-hmm.
It also kind of brings to light more the strength that was behind Kamala too. The number of people that are turning out shows you how many people actually voted for her.
Yes. Yeah. And, listen, y'all can say we're in the same team. Stop bashing the Dems.
That's what got us into this in the first place. I'm kind of sick of that comment. This whole, okay, let's not talk about Dems because we have to be soft and nice, and then the soft and nice ones are going out to vote, and then the ones who want to sell books leave us behind. What are we supposed to say then? Oh, Hakeem Jeffries, okay, well, we'll wait for you to come back, and then you'll make a great speech, and then we'll feel good about it. Meanwhile, we still don't have numbers, we still don't have votes, we still don't have bills that we can pass. We just have bills that we have to vote on, because if we don't, then the government shuts down. How many times do we say, okay, don't bash the Dems? If we're going to bash Republicans for doing horrible things, then you bash the Dems for doing the exact same things that they do, just to their own side.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about Menendez and his bars of gold. We got criminality on both sides.
Exactly. And go out there and listen to AOC and Bernie Sanders. It's not just the Republicans that have an issue with mega donors. We have them on our side too. They're just not brazen like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. They're not comfortable enough to
they don't sit on the stage when you take the oath of office.
They're just not comfortable. They're smart enough to not get comfortable to show their face, to see who's really pulling the strings. So you can't expect to have positive change if you are unwilling to acknowledge where you have areas that need correction.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's okay to sit there and bash the Republicans, but then we're the party of everything is perfect. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be in this fucking situation right now. We wouldn't have Chuck Schumer going, oh, well, I mean, I don't think we're in a constitutional crisis yet. We're not quite there yet. And Hakeem Jeffries going, no, well, there's nothing we can do. With only a handful going out and rallying up the entire country. That tells me that's like getting a performance review. There's significant room for improvement. That right there is below satisfactory. Below. What I'm getting, the results of their campaigning is going to give people hope. It makes people happy. It gives them opportunity. It helps them to hold the line right here. To hold the line, to reach.
It helps people feel like they're not alone in it. That there are a lot of people that aren't happy.
And to give people options and choices. So my next question is, because that was brought up at one of the Democratic town halls. I forgot what Democratic congressperson was there. But the gentleman stood up and he's like, I don't need you to tell me that you're not in the minority. We know that you're not in the minority. What we want you to do is to have the political he didn't say balls, but the political strategy that Mitch McConnell would have when he's in the minority. That right there is what the Dems should be doing, you know? So Timu George Santos was at her town hall. I forget her name, but she's the lady that won Liz Cheney's seat. But she's
help us with her name, guys. I've forgotten her name too. She looks just like George Sanders, but she's in Wyoming.
She looks like George Santos in drag. No, she really does.
She does. She does. Her hair, her glasses, everything. What is her name?
Harriet Hageman, is that it? She looks
Harriet
like George Santos in drag, Johnny. I swear.
She's in Wyoming. Hageman.
Doesn't she look like George Santos in drag? Does she not? Tell me she doesn't, Johnny. Tell me she doesn't.
I want her and George Santos stand side by side. That way we know he ain't trying to sneak back into Congress.
That's what I said. That's why I called her the Timu George Santos, dude. Like,
Lord have mercy.
She
it's
looks
the makeup. That's what it is.
Hageman. So she may be George's Hageman.
Oh my God. He straight up looks like, yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me make you bigger. Hold on.
She looks just like George with lipstick and a better haircut.
George Santos right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Bless the heart.
Mm-hmm. She had a town hall the other day, and she was trying to gaslight the audience that they're not cutting Medicare and Social Security. And this guy in the audience was explaining it to this older gentleman that she was gaslighting, like just straight up gaslighting him. And this older gentleman that was explaining it to the other guy, what exactly was in that bill. And the way that the condescension of this woman towards her own constituents, the disrespect she showed her own constituents, the disdain she showed her own constituents was a sight to behold. I mean, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, holy shit, I never thought I'd live to see the day where the mask comes off and they straight up tell them, we don't give a fuck about you. Period. I was surprised because she made a comment that was something like, I find it very not offensive, but one word to that regard, that you people are so interested in government.
Yeah, like leave us alone to do our job.
Yeah, it's like
we know what's best for you. Just go away.
It's like, bitch, that's your employer. That room full of pissed off people is your employer, not the other way around. They don't work for you. You work for them. I mean, I was just like, holy crap. So is she going to keep her seat? Is Timu George Santos going to keep her seat? Yeah, Kitty, at least she was honest. But I never thought I'd live to see the day where the mask was completely off and they took that tone.
All those people that turned against Liz Jennie, AFO.
Mm-hmm. I
love the one where the guy was a no-show and they had his picture in the front and were asking questions to everybody that wasn't even there.
And I'm not saying Liz Cheney, I'm not here to do a rehabilitation tour of Liz Cheney because I don't like her either. She went along with everything Trump did except the insurrection. That was just a bit too far for her. She was one of those abortion after birth people until all these dead women started popping up, and now she says it's a disgrace. You know, so I'm not here to rehabilitate Liz Cheney, you know, but will Timu George Santos lose his seat?
Bless the heart, Jesus.
She came first, so George probably knocked off her look.
Struggle bus. Well, I mean, he steals everything else, so yeah. You plan to be original, plan to be copied, they say.
I still have my Bernie shirt from when he was campaigning in 2016 that has the little silhouette of his head with the glasses and it says "Feel the burn." I need to go find it.
Ending's on the bottom, but I think she will because I think they'll steal support for her to keep her in. So, again, shifting votes around. It's going to be
I
an
would
issue.
look at her district to see how it's shaped, or wherever she is, to see how things are going there. Because there's a lover's card, but it's the Seven of Swords with it, which is a scheme for support of some kind. So it should not be secure, but I think it may be. However, though, we're talking right now. She did show up to the thing, at least. You know, a lot of them are not. But people don't forget. And I don't think, unfortunately, that their life is going to improve in the next 2 months. So if things constantly get worse, now they have a face to blame it on. They're still not connecting it to Trump, but now they got a face to blame it on. And they remember when they just argued with you, because I read a piece of that article just now. She went back and forth with this vet talking about, she said, you're cutting all these jobs. And she says, no, go after the companies. We're trying to go after spending. And she said, no, I'm not talking about spending. You're talking about jobs. She says, well, and the vet told her that you're not only are you taking away the person, but the job is still there. It's not like, okay, all of a sudden, since we don't have a person, there's no need for that job. And then the woman, the Congress lady, she says, well, we can take that job away too. That way you don't have to do it. Really? Then who's going to file this and who's going to punch that? Who's going to email this? Who's going to fax that? Who's going to, there's a whole place. Kaiser Permanente is a gigantic medical everything on the West Coast. There's a whole building just for scanning documents. A whole building just for scanning documents. There's no patients, there's no medicine, there's no nothing. Just scanning documents. Anyway, but I think that in time, her security does leave her. Nine of Swords and Knight of Swords. She's got a lot of stress coming. And that does cause her to juggle because these people now have a face to associate their hardship. And so, see.
I got a follow-up question to all this in a minute. Go ahead, Jennie. Sorry.
Oh, it went already. So she'll stay in power if it's stolen.
I get that there's going to be an opportunity for someone that has integrity and is honest to get recognition. But the main word being integrity, honesty, ethics, not a piece of shit like Timo George Santos there.
That's the heart, Jesus.
So with that said, I watched that parts of that town hall on Timo.
That's why we can never remember her name, because all I hear is Timo George every time I look at her.
Well, she's got a weird name. So all these town halls, people that have been voting Republican for decades, they've been voting Republican for longer than I've been alive. And they're starting to come to the realization that A, they don't give a fuck about me. B, they don't give a fuck about me. C, they sure as hell don't give a fuck about me, because these people don't even show up to their own town halls. So
do you have a family member on life support? Here, pull the plug.
Yeah. Oh, you're on a fixed income. Have fun. Call your kids, see if you can move back in, because we're taking away Social Security. And then we're going to sit
Can
here.
you not get all your stuff into your car and live out of your car?
Yeah. And then we're going to sit here in this town hall. If we deem to, you know, to grant you our freaking presence, then we're going to sit here and gaslight you, you know? So these Republicans that have been voting Republican for decades, are they starting to get it now? Is it getting through that thick head of decades of propaganda? Communist, 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 communist. And then your own representative doesn't even have the balls to show up? Are they starting to get it?
Trickle down economics.
Girl, it's been almost 50 years. I'm still waiting for a drop of piss to land on me.
I mean, trickle down economics keeps all the money up in the oligarchs, and you might get a little drop every now and then.
You're going to get a drop of the raised taxes is what you're going to get. Your bill's going to go up. That's what we're going to trickle down to you so that we can sustain their lifestyles. So are they starting to get it?
Sure. I get the sun. That would be confirmation, yes. So if we stop there, then yes. I just have some trepidation because why does everything have to hurt for you to learn? But at the same time, there's the Two of Swords and the Seven of Wands. When your belief is challenged, no matter what that belief is, I was reading a post that a scholar that I follow, he posted, it's completely unrelated to his content, but he was saying how the Easter bunny, not Easter, the Easter bunny is not pagan. And they had this whole video about blah, blah, blah. And under the comments is just a bunch of discord because when people get their beliefs challenged, they don't like it, including his. And so there is this thing, though, still, where they can blame Timo George Santos, but you need to blame Donald Trump. Then what happens is if Donald Trump got rid of Elon, he'd be a hero because these people are at these town halls shouting about Elon, not Trump. And so I think that they can see that the Republican agenda is hurting them. They're just not blaming Trump. And so, mind you, he's not a Republican, but still, they need some awakening to where they are voting for the very thing that is hurting them.
And to your point, Johnny, these are not Trump's ideas. Republicans have been telling you for decades, we're going to get rid of entitlement programs. We're going to get rid of entitlement programs. We're going to get, okay, yeah, go ahead. What do you mean you're coming after my Social Security?
Exactly.
We've only been telling you for 50 years. And how do you go from this is Elon Musk to not the person that you voted for who told you repeatedly that they are going to do away with entitlement programs?
His administration. If this were Obama, you'd blame him. You wouldn't blame the congressman.
So I love this. Defending and the challenge is how do you keep defending your beliefs? Like defending Republicans, how do you keep on defending when the majority of Americans are burdened financially? How do you keep defending? So yes, there's a lot more that are turning their backs on Republicans and all the chaos. They're starting to see things differently. They're going to send a message in how they vote in the future. The message is strong. So the votes will get stronger. And they're moving on from the loser.
I get that the Conservative Party
Shrinking.
it's not shrinking. It's the racist lily white racist will remain, but it's almost like there are others here that yes, that they believe in a fantasy. Explain to me, make it make sense, how a party that claims to be the party of small government can tell you who you can marry, what books you can read, what you can and cannot do with your own body, what schools you can attend, what you can and cannot say, what bathrooms you can use, what clothes you can wear, how you can cut your hair, when and where you have sex, if you can or cannot vote after you're married. Like, do you see what I'm saying? It's not about fiscal responsibility. It is about social control. And unless you want a dictator, keep voting Republican, you know?
Well, it's also about freedom to hate, because a lot of these people, when I see them interviewed, they're like, oh, I never read Project 2025. You know, why are they doing this? Why are they going after my Social Security? Why are they cutting veterans' affairs?
Right there.
I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. You just didn't read Project 2025.
Oh, he said
and
it
they're
wasn't real. He said it wasn't real.
Right. They didn't vote on an agenda. They voted on permission to hate. That's what they voted on.
So speaking of permission to hate and voting, Captain Ketamine's trying to buy himself a Supreme Court justice in what state is it? Is it Wisconsin?
No, Delaware. Well, both. Delaware. He's trying. His lawyers wrote a new bill that's going to be looked at in Congress. Wisconsin, he's trying to buy a Supreme Court justice.
So is he going to get his Supreme Court justice? Is Elon Musk going to buy himself a very cheap Supreme Court justice in Wisconsin? He's just so freaking brazen about it. Just so brazen. I do not understand how that man was still able to walk around when he was paying people to vote.
I'm so above the law, you know, and the Democrats are like, we need to investigate what Elon did in Pennsylvania, paying people to vote. We need to investigate. No charges, ass. He paid people to vote. What do you got to investigate?
The lottery that he held, that he was taking a quote. Oh, well, I've already predetermined. You're still defrauding people. Second of all, when he had people walking around with iPads, defrauding people in their homes because they thought they were voting online. Yes, the U-Haul full of people saved the scales. I remember that.
Is that election in May?
I'm not sure.
Anybody know in the chat when that election in Wisconsin is for the Supreme Court justice? April 1st. Oh, April Fool's Day.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I didn't get an answer. There's an investigation about foreign influence. That's what I got. But it's in a foreign place.
Look what I got. There's your elections, your choices, options. There's the hack.
Achieved.
I asked, is he going to get the Supreme Court justice that he wants? Maybe this is it. Maybe he'll get so brazen with it that he'll get caught and it'll raise questions.
He's going to do something treacherous that changes it. She should ultimately win, but he's partnering with the man to grow his votes.
What's the lady's name? I'll ask it that way. The one that's running for Supreme Court.
I'm gonna ask, will she be sworn in as a Supreme Court justice?
What is her name? Does anybody know? The Supreme Court justice, the female in Wisconsin. Susan Crawford. Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all are the best helping us with names.
Chat knows everything.
I'm still on Timu's George Sanders.
Is this state Supreme Court or Supreme Court Supreme Court?
State
State
Supreme
Court.
Court.
Will she be sworn in?
I'm like, what did I miss? What happened? I get no, I doubt it, but I get 3 of swords and 2 of swords. There's a block and a block.
Again?
Oh, good Lord.
Again, it's a sudden loss, a hack and a loss. I mean, maybe that's what happens. He gets caught tampering with an election, and then wait, where else has he tampered? You know what I mean? Like, we know he's done it abroad.
I think that may lead to questions being asked. She would win, but there's subterfuge going on. She should win. She's got the strength. She should be the one taking the vote. But when they look into it, it's like the votes are, she's out in the cold with the votes. So I think there's going to be support for revisiting this election and trying to figure out what happened. People are going to talk about it.
So Donald Trump threw Marco Rubio under the bus.
Oh, really?
I guess the court came back when he signed that thing to ship all those people out to El Salvador or wherever the hell he's sending them to. The judge said, don't do it. He said, I'm king. I can do whatever I want, and I'm going to do it anyways. And then the court came back and said, I want to know exactly what I didn't sign anything. That wasn't me.
I didn't sign an executive order on the news in front of everybody.
And then he threw Marco Rubio under the bus.
Oh.
Put the blame on Marco Rubio.
Oh.
That was quick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Marco Rubio.
Well, I got a couple of weeks ago in one of our readings, I forget whose channel we were on. It was right after that whole situation where they bull rushed Zelensky.
Yeah, he just sat there like looking mortified.
I got in that reading that he's on his way out. I'm wondering if he's starting to get it now that you're going to be the fall guy, dumbass. And he's a lawyer.
Jesus Christian, you have so many examples of this was how this was going to turn out.
Mm-hmm. No, but it won't happen to me. He won't do that to me.
Lord have mercy.
He has
turned somebody else into stone.
He has surrounded himself with criminals and a bunch of idiots that are hungry for clout so that you all can be scapegoats.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you're there for.
So is little Rubio going to get in trouble with the courts now? Because, yeah, the court might not be able to send the marshals after Donnie, but they can sure as hell come after Marco Rubio.
Oh, my God.
But Trump's lawyers then would be in trouble for falsifying court records.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Donald Trump doesn't teach anybody anything other than greed is not good. You see him and you as a greedy person think, oh, I can get in his administration. I can get this and this and this, and I can get all this power and this accolade, this and that. And then you get close to him and he turns you to stone just like everybody else. Why do you think all these statues are in place? He did it to somebody else. He's going to do it to you too.
I just don't get the lure, Johnny. You cannot argue with me that, oh, it's because he has charisma. The guy is dumber
He's an idiot.
than a fucking rock with brain worms. And that's being generous. So somebody please explain it to me like I'm an idiot, because I don't understand the lure of the moron that gets everybody in freaking trouble, is a goddamn criminal, is stupider than hell. What is the lure? What is it? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Because we're not attracted to that type of thing. So it's never really something that we're not going to fall off the cliff with the lemmings because we don't want what they got. It's just so silly that you see everybody else torch and burn, and then you say, yeah, let me get in there too.
Let me try to balance my forks. I can't even do it because I'm laughing too hard. My hands are shaking. Let me do like a ketamine freak, and yeah, Marco, get in there. And
Marco Rubio, a man who is the son of Cuban immigrants. I'm one of them. My father was a political prisoner in a Cuban prison for 10 years.
Oh, but birthright citizenship means nothing now. So ship Rubio off to El Salvador.
And Rubio has been sitting there gaslighting every freaking Cuban American Miami about dictators. And then you go cozy up to one and suck his dick when they're here in America. Make it make sense. And the guy's not even smart. At least Castro was a good orator. This guy's a fucking moron. My dog speaks better English than Donald Trump. You know, I mean, I don't understand it. Anyways, what'd you get, Johnny? Is he going to get in trouble?
So here's the thing. The DOJ is under the control of a Donald Trump. However, there is no... Some people have Teflon, like Mike Flynn and people like that, but Marco Rubio is not a Russian asset necessarily, and so they don't really need him for much. They can replace him. First two cards is Justice and the King of Wands. King of Wands is not a lawsuit or lawyer for me. This is an investigator or an officer. Those two combined would be like somebody coming to arrest you or somebody coming to serve you something. There's Three of Swords. Betrayal. Betrayal does not come from thy enemies. This is not some democratic ploy to come and get you. The Star means that it's coming in the future. I think he is headed towards disaster, and you can see the evidence of it right now. Here with the Empress and the Two of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, it's going to get larger. Because there's something, mind you, this may not even be his idea, but it doesn't matter. You're the face of it. And so, what is he, the Secretary of State?
I think so.
Oh, good God, Jesus. But yes, this compounds a lot more problems coming for you. This is going to be a horrible summer for you, I think. But we shall see.
Good. A million
legal
times.
problems. Loss of his security, backstabbing, trying to get by, but a lot of anxiety, and then he's out in the cold infighting. Would not surprise me though if he returned to his home state and tried to run for governor.
In Miami, in the 305, let me tell you a little story about what happened in Miami. That's where I grew up, in Miami. Okay, they don't call it Little Havana for nothing. There was these three morons, Latinos for Trump. They made this little band and they made this whole little song about voting for Trump. Now they're all over the internet. Me arrepiento, por favor, olvídame que no sabía. Forgive me. I'm ashamed of what we did. We didn't know he was doing this. After he revoked all those visas, and he's about to deport all those Cubans back to the motherland. And now you're why? He told you exactly what he was going to do. And because he wanted to make a little TikTok song and be, internet famous, now your whole family is about to be rounded up and sent to, not even back to the island, to fucking South America, you dipshit.
El Salvador, where they're going to shave their heads and lock them up and beat them.
Is he going to get in trouble? Not right now. There's a little bit of a delay because he agreed. There's the travel, the transfer, the transition, sending people away, his agreement. There might be, I would check his contracts because I would not be surprised if there is some sort of enterprise commitment with the company that is deporting these people, where there's a contract in place that he's benefiting from. But there's a delay to him getting in trouble right here. He could also just cold shoulder the courts and be like, but I would not be surprised. Is there a private agency that's helping deport those people to El Salvador, either through ship or air?
Probably, because mind you, that's what Abbott and DeSantis used.
Because there's enterprise, contract, and an agreement for travel here.
So there's a third party probably out there.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Third party airplane.
Which means they're getting government money too.
Which means it's circling back to them.
They're paying for El Salvador to take them and lock them up and keep them. They're making money off of.
And how many? I would like to know. Remember last time, kids in cages and everybody was losing their minds? How many people that are in El Salvador right now were wrongfully detained and are actual fucking citizens in El Salvador where they can't be fucking tracked?
Yeah, lawyers can't get in touch with them.
Forget being here on a visa or being an illegal immigrant. How many were wrongfully taken because they were citizens and just fit the, whatever, and they just got cuffed and sent over? And he's paying the president of El Salvador. Fucking God. Dear Lord. Anyways, Trump keeps referring to April 2nd. April 2nd, that he has something really big planned, that it's going to be our new Independence Day. I sent you the video of him complaining about Washington, D.C., right? And it shouldn't even be named Washington, D.C. because it has to do with Columbia, and Columbia is not even here and it's far away. It should be renamed to the district. I'm like, oh my God. This fucking moron doesn't even know why it's called the District of Columbia.
Change it to District of Trump. District of America, like Gulf of America.
What an embarrassment, dude. This guy wouldn't pass a first grade ABC test.
Isaac Neutron.
Why are you making fun of me? Are people making fun of Fig Newton cookies? Like the cookies, Fig Newton? It was an honest mistake.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
How can you be that stupid?
How can you be the president and not Isaac Neutron? I can't with that. I'm sorry.
How can you be that stupid, Jennie? Easy. Be a Trump. It runs in mathematics.
Yeah.
I thought George Bush, set the bar pretty low. No, Trump just dropped it to the floor.
No, he made George Bush look like a freaking
genius.
Neutron.
we're living in hell. We're in hell. This is not reality.
Oh my God, help me somebody. Anyway.
We're in hell.
Jesus, I need one of them life alert bracelets. I can't get up right now.
He's Timu Neutron.
Oh my God, did you hear him talking about Barron, his son?
He's tall. He's very tall.
Just recently. They asked him a question. I forgot what it was. Oh, about his family down the road, if they'll ever run for office. I'm like, dear God, if there is a God or a gods or whatever, please send some natural disaster or a hitman and just that entire family, because I can't do this again. And he, yes, I said what I said. Okay. And he says, well, Barron Trump, he's very smart. He knows a lot about computers. I went in and I saw him and I told him to turn off his computer and he wouldn't do it. So I turned it off and I went to leave and he turned it back on. He's so smart with computers.
He knows how-
Wait, what?
He's probably playing Mario
Baron
Kart
is
on
a
his.
genius because he knows
He knows how to turn the shit back on, so that makes him smart.
Yep. According to Trump, dude. According to Trump.
He's Baron Neutron.
Baron the tech guy, yeah, because he knows how to turn a computer back on after his dad powered it off. I am not making this shit up. I wish I was.
Oh, God.
Oh my God! This is how we get rid of him. Turn something off. He won't be able to turn it back on, you guys. Turn off the fucking lights. Turn off the speaker. Turn off the turn it off.
Turn off his Coke button.
Oh
my God. Yeah. Baron Trump is good
He's
with
so smart because he knows how to turn something back on once you turn it. First of all, let's address the issue here. I don't know if I'm
Roro can do that. She turns my computer on.
But when your parent comes in the room that tells you to turn something off, turn it off. First of all, let's start there. And then when I leave the room and you turn it back on, that means I can slap you right in your face because I told you to turn it off, and I may turn it off right now. And you get up and you get into bed like you're supposed to. Mind you, the boy's grown. What are you telling him to turn something off or let him be? He don't even live with you. But if you, as his father, told him to turn it off, he should have turned it off, and that should have been the end of it. But he doesn't know you. He doesn't respect you. And that tells me so. Turn it off, and I mean right now.
He's so intelligent. He's so intelligent with technology and computers. I turned the computer on, and he turned it back on.
Oh my God! I should have a PhD then. I have 2 computers. I turned them on and off.
I mean, Johnny, I think we're all freaking nuclear physicists, you know?
I tried to get my microphone from Echo, and Lord have mercy.
I can't. This is, I mean, just a shit show, man. Like,
maybe Baron discovered electricity. That's how he figured out how to turn it back on.
Did he? Yeah, he discovered electricity. It was an
Baron Neutron. There you go. What is happening?
We're in the upside down. This is hell. Lord. I forgot the question.
We didn't have one yet.
My cat Roro knows how to turn my computer off and on. If Beth Cat's in the chat, she'll tell you she knows how to text Beth Cat, usually at around 2 or 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
Yep. This is the nightmare that we're in. World, we didn't do this. Him and Elon did it. Not us. Not us.
They're all going to die. Lord have
I hope
mercy.
so. I hope they burn.
Not we're all going to die. They're all going to die. We got common sense.
You ever seen those videos with pandas, and it's like, how are pandas not exist and like not extinct because they? How are these 2 morons still alive? You would have.
How do they keep from drowning in the bathtub?
I mean,
what does he do when he goes to McDonald's and the drive-through menu is not lit up? Does he just stand there and yell at it forever? Drive to the next window, sir.
well, wasn't there like a whole thing during his first term? I forget who it was. If it was Scaramucci, I think it might have been Scaramucci that was saying that Trump is illiterate, that he can't read.
I mean, look at it. In his book, it's smart. First of all, the word is intelligent. If you know how to turn a computer back on. And I can almost guarantee you, he didn't turn it off. He probably turned off the monitor.
Yeah.
And then he just turned it back on.
I'm telling you, I just listen.
It makes you question the God thing every day. Is there a God really? This can't be
I'm
happening.
not saying I'm gonna do it. I'm not saying you should do it, but if somebody does it, I ain't gonna cry. I'm gonna be popping shit.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
That would be entertaining.
Thanks for
I will be thoroughly entertained.
So So what's the thing for April 2nd? Because he keeps alluding to April 2nd.
Yeah, we lost track. Sorry.
I know.
The new Independence Day, he calls it.
Yeah, it was the Isaac Neutron thing, Johnny.
Yes.
Well, he was smart enough to not make it April Fool's Day.
Well, he did say that. I can't make it April 1st because that's April Fool's Day. So I'll make it April 2nd.
That's his day.
That's when we're going to have the new Independence Day.
What is it about?
Yeah, I want to know what he has planned for April 2nd. They're saying in the chat that's when he has the tariffs planned. Well, I hope your car don't break down and you all go hungry because we about to get fucked. Fucked.
I mean, I got Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and Six of Swords. It has something to do with money overseas. Something he wants, though. This is not. Never mind. That's what I get.
I wonder what if I could be a damn fly on the wall or a cockroach on the floor to be in the room when Republicans are absolutely losing their fucking shit when this stupid neurosyphilitic moron crashes the whole fucking country. I'm serious, because their donors are going to be calling up going, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about us.
He got syphilis from Jennie Neutron.
Jennie Neutron. Should have kept your pecker in your pants, buddy. It's only as big as a mushroom, so leave it
Pecker
alone.
Neutron.
It's so tiny you could break it off by accident. Leave it alone.
Oh. You know how somebody over in France said, send us our Statue of Liberty back?
Yeah.
Take it. We don't need it.
We don't deserve it.
This is legacy stuff. Of course, it's got to do with money. So maybe starting is good. It's Trump here, the loser. I think it's something Russia put him up to doing to help his image, and to try to temper what's going on in the U.S. is going to rile a whole bunch of people up. I think he's going to find a new target to attack.
There's something suspicious or manipulative that is probably written in a book or a secret that brings a lot of endings, losses, and death. Also, in a book about the end of jobs. This is jobs. This is endings and losses. But central to that is a book. So
maybe it's killing Congress.
There's something in this book that may have been overlooked or is very suspicious and manipulative. Read it across. Manipulative, knowledge, endings. Work, knowledge, endings. Work, secret, endings. Do you see what I'm saying? So it has to do with more job losses. But central to the reading the topic is this. It's in a book. Either a literal book, but it's down somewhere. So Independence Day, nobody has to work because I'm getting rid of all the jobs and putting all the Americans in a concentration camp to service the 10 oligarchs in the world. I mean,
it's going to cause more people to abandon him in the White House. Going to get everybody all emotional. It's a quid pro quo, so there's some agreement for what he's going to do.
Oh yeah, tariffs will cause job losses. Like I said, and here's another thing. Ben and Jerry's, The parent company just fired the CEO because of how, which I was just telling you, I'll go get, if you want to show your support, since we're doing the whole boycott, I can't tell you the last time I stepped into it. January 21st was the last time I stepped into a Target. Not, sending a message with our dollars. Well, Ben & Jerry's has always been very activist on the progressive wing. They were huge Bernie Sanders supporters, and then when all this stuff happened with the neurosyphilitic moron, they started getting very vocal and using a lot of their money to go help pay for like lawyers and stuff for immigration. The CEO just got fired by the parent company. And I'm like, I'm about to be so rich and skinny, boycotting and freaking not spending my money. But then I was like, wait, tariffs are coming, so I'm not going to be able to afford to eat anyways. You know what I mean? So, but Ben & Jerry's. So he's currently filing a lawsuit for being fired, the main guy from Ben & Jerry's. So will he win?
They were trending about 2 weeks ago. Bluebells was trending. Bluebells is an ice cream in the South, in the Midwest, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, really, really popular in the South. And Ted Cruz says, because Ben & Jerry's tweeted something about supporting abortion rights. And then Ted Cruz says, Ben & Jerry sucks, eat Bluebells or some crap like that. So they were trending because of that.
Yeah, and isn't that a violation of the Hatch Act? I mean, who cares? Throw the liberals in prison and then all the lawbreakers that are Republican, you want to go pew somebody, just do it and then show them your voter registration card. Oh, you're a Republican? Yeah, that's fine. And Ted Cruz, Mr. Cancun, I can't find my dick Cruz, can go shut it, Did you see that interview where he threw Elon Musk under the bus too? Oh, I got to show it to you. I got to find it. It's in my phone.
But, like we did with the J.D. Vance reading earlier, that's the sentiment they have.
No, it was him and Ted Cruz and Elon Musk doing an interview. And
they were together?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Ted Cruz sitting in a chair and then Captain Ketamine sitting in another chair, and they were talking, and Ted Cruz says something about him having access to the votes or something like that. I mean, he just casually dropped it in there. And Elon Musk is like, even in his ketamine high, you could tell that he was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And he just went on saying whatever. Now, Ted Cruz is a lying piece of shit snake, but he's intelligent. Don't let that man fool you. Do not. He's a Ivy League educated bullshitter. So, yeah, he threw Elon Musk under the bus.
I'm getting it's not clear because it may depend on being able to get a corrupt judge, that would support him. So it's kind of 50-50 is what I'm getting. That's a 50-50 card for me. It's not clear.
What did you get, Johnny?
I get it's going to be very, very, very difficult for him to win. The Page of Swords and the Magician, there's a lot of lies and a lot of manipulation. So probably some character assassination type of thing going on there. Because the Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands, they're going to fight tooth and nail. There's the Judgment, Chariot, Page of Pentacles. There could be something down the line to where they could pay this to go away because it's going to kick up a lot of negative publicity. So they may pay to have it go away. But in the beginning, there's a lot of lies and manipulation. So, and it's against him personally. So I think there's some character attack there. So it's going to be very difficult for him to win.
And how can they turn around and sue him when the sales for Ben & Jerry's has been great? Because people are using their dollars to send a message. You know, unless the main people at the main company that owns them are a bunch of closeted Trump supporters and they wanted to shut the messenger down and, you know, fired him under that. I get the same thing as Johnie, character assassination, chronic lying, chronic abuse, speaking out of both sides of their mouths. He has an opportunity. It's going to take a while. And the public is going to have to get involved as well, or the public stands with him. Do you see what I'm saying? To where it's like the court of public opinion will help influence the way that it goes. So we're a little bit over, but I just wanted to get one last question, one petty ass question. Elon Musk at Mar-a-Lago playing with the silverware like he's fucking Edward Scissorhands. I mean...
And no, his head doing some of the ketamine jerks.
He had the forks and the 2 forks and a spoon in a triangular shape, and he was holding it with his finger, and he's all.
Yeah, he's doing a balancing thing. I only brought 2 forks in. I'd have to have a third one to get it to balance right. Everybody could do this. But that's what he's sitting around all these supposedly important people playing with his forks.
High as a kite, too.
His head was doing the ketamine jerk.
I saw a video, and this is why I don't understand what judge let that man have his child and not the mother, because he is a known drug addict. And I just saw a video where he was going to one of Trump's rallies. He's walking with baby demon behind him. He straight up ditches his child, like ditches him. And this 2, 3, 4-year-old is just wandering around by himself. No nannies, no security, no nothing. We have him on video countless of times, higher than a freaking kite. How is that safe for a child to be around that? Make it make sense, because I don't understand. So anyways, Captain Ketamine and Mar-a-Lago playing with his silverware like he just discovered the laws of physics. You know,
ketamine neutron. Ketamine neutron. We'll call him Ketatron.
No, I mean, seriously, Johnie, he looked like he just discovered physics. Like, he was so enthralled. Like,
yeah, serious face.
When I was younger, I was captivated by silverware, not because it was shiny, because certain spoons, I don't know the way they're made. If you look at the spoon, your reflection is upside down on the spoon. That captivated me, because I'm like, nothing else that gives a reflection is upside down except for this. And so
learning to hang a spoon off your nose as a kid.
But what grown man is sitting in a banquet hall, basically? Just, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah. Higher than a kite.
I mean, I understand if you're bored, you know, maybe get up and go talk to somebody.
What's our question?
What did everybody around him think? Because he was at a table with a woman that I don't even know if she was paying attention to him. Like, she was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I don't think you can ignore it, though. If you just see somebody, just...
No, he had it on his finger, and he was like...
Balancing it on his finger, but you know, you get a triangle set up and you can balance it on your finger with the triangle with the knife.
Like, he was Johnie, he was like Isaac Neutron. Isaac Neutron figuring out the mathematical equation to gravity because he invented it. You know, like, I mean, it was... We don't like him, Braxy.
So we needed an apple to fall on his head.
Page of Swords, the Fool, and the Hermit. Page of Swords is your child with the behavioral issues. The Fool is the fool, childish in this in particular instance, and the Hermit. Something's going. People around him figure something was going on up here. They just didn't understand what it was.
But go ahead and tell me more about how Hunter Biden is a drug addict.
Yes.
Please.
One is sitting at the table with you, playing spoons and forks, like chutes and ladders. Somebody come get him, please.
Security, there's something wrong with this guy's head. Let me turn my chair around the other way and not look at him. He's trying too hard.
The crazy addict that's a liar and trouble needs to be isolated. That's what they were thinking. This would be anxiety, like just going crazy. There's the addict with the whip, liar, trouble, isolation, and then him.
No, mercy. Just walk past him and do this. He'll go to sleep.
That's how we keep him out of Doge, huh? Just somebody walk over there. Look, the cleaning staff at the White House. Next time you walk by Elon Musk, just throw a
Like, what is that sheet over there on there? That's Elon Neutron. Leave him alone.
I can't. We're living in hell.
Oh my God.
Well, that's all I got.
That's all we need.
I can't take it anymore. I'm going to go back to Delulu land here in a minute because one night is all I can take of this shit show.
I'll just work with my forks later.
Oh my God.
Becca will have to put one on her forehead for Halloween again.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because we got COVID shotted. So now we're magnetic. Do y'all remember that?
Oh my God.
Yep. Didn't take the. I just saw an interview with a lady, anti-vaxxers. Their little child just passed away from measles. Not a care in the world.
God's will.
Mm-hmm.
It's God's will that you be stupid.
Mm-hmm. Remember, as you always say, doctors are healers too. Mm-hmm. Science and medicine are real things, and you can use them.
Because last time I checked, prayer is not a good form of medicine.
Prayer is what you use when you can't do anything. But you can do a whole lot in between. I don't know what to do and what do I do.
Lord have mercy. Well, next week we'll be on Jennie's channel. Back on Jennie's. I'm going to lay low and go back to Delulu land so I don't have to listen to these stupid idiots. Because I can't. My brain can only take so much and I can't, y'all. I can't. So thanks for hanging out tonight. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats and everything. I'm not saying, but if I check the obituaries and we get good news, we will be live. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but somebody needs to get tickets to the park and fast.
And I'm going to get actually drunk, probably.
Yeah.
Live on YouTube. No.
I'll be over here drinking bottles of champagne, dude. Like, I mean.
But I wait. I will bring you some treats, though. So I'll bring you one.
I think that or two.
All right, guys. Peace out. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Everybody.